If you're looking to live in a walkable neighborhood here in the Atlanta area, perhaps on my top 5 list of walkable neighborhoods would be Old Fourth Ward, and that is what I'm going to tell you about today. If you're moving to Atlanta looking for something walkable where you can walk to grocery stores, restaurants, a little bit of shopping, well, I got you covered. Old Fourth Ward can hit all of those things. I will talk about this neighborhood, so stay tuned. Let's talk all about living in the Old Fourth Ward right now. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things living here in the city of Atlanta. So if you're making a move here, you need further help with your home search, reach out to me. All my contact information is down below. But you guys, I am excited but a little nervous to show you all about Old Fourth Ward because one, it's a big neighborhood to cover. So I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. But two, what I'm nervous about is it's going to be like 95, 97 degrees out. So I'm going to be a dripping mess by the end of this, but I'm going to cover as much as I can so you can get a good understanding of what it's like living in the Old Fourth Ward. But before I get any further, let me put up on a map so you can see where the Old Fourth Ward is at. And you're going to see it's a bigger neighborhood, kind of central to the city. It is right next to the Midtown area. In fact, your drive times to Midtown is 5 to 7 minutes, downtown area about 7 minutes. The airport is 18 minutes, and to get over to Buckhead, it's about a 20-minute drive. Of course, if you are traveling during some of those peak or rush hour times, especially over to like the Buckhead area, it could take you longer than that. So just keep that in mind. But you guys, I am here in one of the prime areas here in the Old Fourth Ward is this Ponce City Market area. I've done a video of the Old Fourth Ward before, but I figured it's been a couple of years. There's been some new developments, so I'm going to try to hit those on my video this time. But Ponce City Market, this used to be an old Sears building there where they would fulfill Sears orders. Remember Sears back in the I remember back in the 1980s, you get the Sears catalog for Christmas. Anyway, this is an old Sears fulfillment center, and then it kind of sat vacant. Actually, it was a city hall. When I moved here in 2011, it was like a vacant, abandoned eyesore building, but a developer came in, spent a lot of money, redeveloped it, and now it is a mixed-use commercial space with a cool food hall. There's some shopping, and some lofts and commercial space, so office space as well. And they've even built on another section here where there's now a pottery barn, and then above it is some more office space. And now there's even some like short-term living apartments that you can rent out. As you can imagine, Ponce City Market is a big attraction around here. It's also right next to the Beltline, so a lot of people hop off the Beltline, come grab something to eat here over at Ponce City Market. And a lot of development has happened around it, lots of apartment buildings. So it is just a great development for the Old Fourth Ward area that has really kind of changed this area around. It used to be kind of an area you didn't want to hang out in. It was pretty rough, and now it has gotten way better. So let me take you for a quick spin around Ponce City Market so you can kind of get a feel of what that's like. But you guys, you just got to come and check this out for yourself sometime. Alright, well that was a very quick tour of the Ponce City Market area, and I forgot to mention that rooftop. That's a cool place to go and grab a drink. There's some arcade games, but probably not a fun place to go on a 95-degree day. But you guys, right behind me, this is that Pottery Barn building I was telling you about. There's office space above it. This used to just be a parking lot that I used to park in and then go into the West Elm store right here. But now it has been built up, which is just incredible how things have changed so quickly in this area. On the other side, this is Ponce City Market, and on the other side, I should mention there is a shopping center with a Home Depot, a Whole Foods, there is a PetSmart, a Staples. So if you need to do some of that kind of shopping, you can get that done here. But I will say in Old Fourth Ward, I had a client that was coming here to visit, and they were like, you know, we were staying in Midtown. We just thought we'd walk from Midtown over to the Ponce City Market area along Ponce de Leon. Then they were like, yeah, the scene kind of changed there for a while. It was looking a little iffy, and that is one thing that is kind of a continuing story in the Old Fourth Ward area, is that there are certain parts where it can be a block by block case. And yeah, driving down Ponce, there's an area where it kind of deteriorates and then it gets better again. So just giving you that little tidbit of information. But now I'm going to head a little bit, let's see, that would be south, and I'm going to show you the Old Fourth Ward Park area. And welcome over to historic Fourth Ward Park. This is just across the street from Ponce City Market. It is a 17-acre park, and you can see there's a nice big green space right here. You'll usually see a lot of people with their dogs out here, you know, throwing a ball, that kind of thing, or people having picnics. They'll do festivals right here. There's a nice water fountain feature over to the left of me, and you're gonna notice here, you know, this is an apartment complex. This was built probably, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. On the other side of this apartment complex, this is called North and Line, is the Beltline. So that's how close you are to the Beltline. And on the other side of me, more apartment buildings. I think there's like a Camden apartment complex and many, many others. You know, I get a lot of moms that will call me for, you know, finding out where should their recent college grad live if they're moving to Atlanta for their first job. And I always suggest, you know, living somewhere right by Ponce City Market and the Beltline in the Old Fourth Ward as an option. It's just very walkable. There's a lot of people. I feel very comfortable walking around here during the daytime. I mean, at nighttime, anywhere in Atlanta, I always say, you know, keep your guard up a little bit. But you can see lots of apartments. This area has just gotten denser and denser. So beautiful park. Let me keep walking and I will show you a few more shots of the park, which include a playground. There is a splash pad. And before I go, I should mention, you know, this building right behind me, this is kind of like the latest and greatest thing that has opened here. It is a new hotel called Fourth. They also are having some kind of social club membership that you can join as well. But they'll have a hotel plus some furnished extended stay apartments. But it'll have a pool, a fitness gym, a spa. There's some hoity-toity restaurants and a bar, cocktail lounge, that kind of thing. So that's a cool new building that just kind of opened this summer here in the Atlanta area. And right next to it, there's like a red building, and that is an apartment building. So again, just a lot of new stuff that has popped up right here. This black building behind me, that is an office space called where MailChimp is headquartered. Before that building was there, you know, right behind here. This has all just changed so much. But when I first lived here 13 years ago, what used to be in the land over here that's now developed, it used to be kind of like a parking lot for the Georgia Power Company, to where they parked all of their extra vehicles. So a lot has changed in the Old Fourth Ward. It's just gotten to become a very popular place, and a lot of companies and investors are capitalizing on that. You guys, capturing that splash pad area makes me want to jump in it right now because it is warming up. But I want to keep on moving, and I'm going to talk about some homes now. But side note, you know, right across the street from that splash pad area, there is a new coffee shop called Finca de Filter. They have a couple locations in the Atlanta area, but it's really good, and I love this coffee shop inside. It's really bougie looking. So it's at the bottom of this Iris apartment building, which is a nice building as well. Like I said, lots of apartment buildings you can choose from around here in the Old Fourth area. Now, I do want to mention that I am no rental expert. I don't focus a lot of time on rentals, so don't be calling me and asking me about which apartment building is better or how their management is. I don't do a lot of rentals, you guys. Okay, but let's talk about homes. If you are curious about living in the Old Fourth Ward, what does it cost to live here? Well, the good news is Old Fourth Ward has a lot of different options for you. They have everything from condos up to single family homes. And you know, kind of what has happened with the Old Fourth Ward area, it was full of a lot of older bungalows, dilapidated bungalows, and people have either torn them down or renovated them. So you're going to find a mix of older 1920, 1930 bungalows mixed in with a lot of new modern. So if you really like the modern style, you can definitely find a ton of that here in the Old Fourth Ward area. Another thing they're building a lot of are like duplexes. Like, it looks like a single family home, but there's two of them and they're connected. I'll show you an example here in a little bit so you'll understand more of that. But there's a lot of townhomes as well. Let me give you average prices for each of these options. So single family home, the average price for that is $940,000. A townhome is $933,000. You may be like, oh my gosh, why are townhomes just as expensive as a single family home? Well, most of the townhomes that are here in the Old Fourth Ward area are newer and they're big. So more on that later. And then condos, you can find on average a condo for $333,000. And Old Fourth Ward also has a lot of loft condo units. So if you are into the loft style, you can certainly find a lot of those sprinkled throughout the Old Fourth Ward area. Now, one thing I should mention about the Old Fourth Ward area is that a lot of the lots are going to be small and narrow. You're going to be scrunched together next to your neighbor. Lots can be as small as 0.10 acres, so that's kind of what we're dealing with. And most of them will have a driveway, but not a garage. But you can see kind of typical bungalow examples. The ones that are more fixed up are going to be probably in that 800 to 900 range. If it's a little smaller, or maybe it's in an interesting location, you could get something in the 600 to 700K price point, but probably also a lot smaller and maybe not as renovated. So that's kind of an example of bungalows in this area, but I'm gonna head around the corner, show you some more of those modern style homes that you'll find here in the neighborhood. Now, this is an example right behind me of what I was talking about, where you'll find two townhomes connected together. They kind of live like a single family home, but they're technically a townhome because they are attached. But they're building a lot of these in the Old Fourth Ward area because the lots are long and narrow. So they're building these kind of buildings. And the great thing about them is a lot of them have these rooftop patios, and that's become very popular in the Old Fourth Ward area. And with those rooftop patios, you can really get some great views of the midtown, downtown skyline. So that's kind of a fun feature of these townhomes. But a lot of them are going to be that modern style. And I would say you're going to be paying anywhere from 1.1 up to $1.3 million for some of these newer builds in the neighborhood. One thing to know about the Old Fourth Ward is that depending on the street that you are on, it can really look differently. I mean, it's just kind of a hodgepodge of homes that can be found on one individual street. Some streets you'll find a lot of moderns, other streets you'll find a mixture of a new modern next to an old bungalow that maybe looks like a borderline tear down. And then just other streets are really put together. So that is just what you'll find in the Old Fourth Ward area. Now, one thing I should mention is the schools that are zoned to the Old Fourth Ward. The elementary school is the Hope Hill Elementary. I would say its rankings aren't as high as some of the other surrounding neighborhoods, but they all filter into the Howard Middle School and Midtown High School. So there you go, there's your school situation. Let me keep going, and man, I am getting hot. Now here's a townhome example for you. These were built, I think, 2019, 2020. These are called the Views on Ponce. I'd say it's a collection of probably maybe 20, 24 units or so. These used to sell around like 900 was like, you know, the beginning builder price. And now the resales are going for about $1.1 million. Now, the great thing about these, one, it does have a rooftop patio, and two, it's right across the street from Ponce City Market. So completely walkable. You can hop over to Ponce City Market or hop over onto the Beltline. And just to give you another example of kind of the vibe in Old Fourth Ward, so you got these nice townhomes here, right? And then right across the street, you've got kind of this big hole in the ground. I am sure this is going to be developed into something at some point. I have no idea what it will be, but you know, that's just what you'll find in the Old Fourth Ward area, is kind of old with the new and something in between. A lot of development happening still in this area. It keeps changing, you guys. All right, so I am on the Beltline. I had to mention this at least once, but hey, if you want to know more about the Beltline, I've got a couple of videos on my channel that you can watch about living on the Beltline or just what the Beltline is in general. But yes, the Beltline does go through the Old Fourth Ward neighborhood. I'm under an underpass. There's always some really good murals over here, and it changes periodically. But I'm gonna also hang a left here, and you're going to see that there is what they call the Old Fourth Ward skate park. Now, there's some people over there doing their thing right now. I would not trust myself on a skateboard to save my life. But if you want a place to do some skateboarding or maybe some rollerblading and do some tricks, then this is the place you need to come, is the Old Fourth Ward skate park. You can access it from the Beltline or I believe it's Ralph McGill Boulevard. But you're also going to see that there's a big green space, and they'll hold events here. So that's also a place to watch for. I think they do like a wine festival. They'll do that here, but check out this skate park. Okay, let's keep on going. All right, I'm walking down one of my more favorite streets here in the Old Fourth Ward area. It's just a little bit more put together, and I love how the streets are lined with these beautiful crepe myrtles, but you're gonna still find a little mixture of some older bungalows, but I feel like most of the bungalows on this street are fixed up really well. And hey, I always have to point out this one because it is just a unique modern house. I mean, check this out. There's actually a for lease sign in there, so if you're looking for a rental, I have no idea what it is asking for a rental, but my guess would be, you know, probably $6,000 to $8,000. I don't know for sure. But at the very end of the street, I think this will give you a good idea and picture of kind of seeing where Old Fourth was and where it is going today. So let me finish walking to the end of the street and I will tell you more about it. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. To my right here, this is like an older bungalow home, dilapidated. And to my left, brand new, swanky, new modern construction. And that's just happening all over in the Old Fourth Ward area. Okay, I wanna take you on a little trail, and it's going to take you to a place that is life-changing. Well, maybe not life-changing, but pretty close. So I am going to hop on this little trail that's in here in the Old Fourth Ward area. It connects over into the Freedom Park Trail. This will take you all the way over into Candler Park. It'll connect you onto the Beltline. But you can also hang a right and you're gonna get over to a place called Bomb Biscuits, and you guys, they are the bomb. Okay, if you're looking for a good breakfast option, you need to try Bomb Biscuits. I am telling you, their biscuits are hearty. I think they do some cinnamon rolls as well. I wish I was a little bit more hungry. It's just so hot that I don't have an appetite right now. But trust me, they are good, and I think they've won some awards. But you guys, this is kind of a dangerous corner because right across the street there is a Donnie's Donuts. Now, I have not tried this yet, but I'm gonna have to come check this out later. One thing is sad is right across the street, I point this out on my old Fourth Ward vlog tour, the Highland Bakery shut down. It was such a good breakfast brunch spot, but it's no longer open. I'm not for sure what they're going to do next with this building. I guess we will find out, and maybe I'll report back to you in a couple of years if I'm redoing this video again. But now I'm going to keep heading on to the southern portion of the Old Fourth Ward area. And one thing to note, in this part of the area of the Old Fourth Ward, things get scrunched together a little bit more. The homes are more tightly squeezed in, very little yard. What else? It's also still right by the Beltline, and I'm actually walking right by a cool patio spot called Lady Bird that's right off of the Beltline. So if you are living here on the southern end of the Old Fourth Ward, that's kind of a cool hangout spot. All right, like I said, Lady Bird, this is probably everyone's favorite place to hang out, especially on a nice day or a weekend. Now, it looks really empty right now because it's like 95 degrees out and it's a work day. But trust me, on evenings and weekends, this place is going to be packed. And the best part, it is right off of the Beltline. And right just probably, I'd say, you know, the equivalent of 2 blocks, you're gonna hit Krog Street Market for another food hall. And there's some more restaurants there. Another brewery area, Brewdog. So just a really cool area here in the southern portion of the Old Fourth Ward area. Okay, let me hike up the street and just around the corner to show you an example of some of these streets that are a little bit more narrow, where the homes are crammed in a little bit more. Okay, I'm walking down maybe one of the cutest streets. I feel like I say that a lot, but this time I really mean it. But this is a mixture of some older bungalows, a newer construction. A lot of them are smaller, and then you'll get like some newer modern homes, like the one right behind me, and then you'll get kind of this cute little tiny bungalow. I would say prices can range anywhere for kind of the smaller bungalows in the mid 6s to high 600K range. And then for some of the bigger modern styles that you're gonna see around here, probably 1.5 million, maybe a little higher, maybe a little bit lower. But I am just about a half block away from the Howard Middle School. So this is where all the kids for basically all the in-town neighborhoods are going to go for middle school if they choose to go the public route. This Howard Middle School was an old school that was shut down and was kind of dilapidated there for a while, but it has gotten renovated and added on to, and now it is the middle school. And I think it got renovated and opened in 2019, 2020, right when COVID hit. So no one could really enjoy it at the very beginning. But the great thing about this middle school is that it's just 2 blocks away from the Beltline. So like if your kids live over in Inman Park, they probably have the shortest commute because it's just right off of the Beltline in Inman Park, and obviously Old Fourth Ward too. But yeah, beautiful building, and you also get some great views on the other side of the downtown skyline. I jumped over to more of the western side of the Old Fourth Ward neighborhood, and I wanted to talk about this area a little bit because I do get people that will be looking around and be like, man, the prices look a lot better over here. And yes, they are. And I would just say like the western side of the Old Fourth Ward area hasn't transitioned as much. And of course, it's all about location, location, location. If you're closer to the Beltline, Ponce City Market, you're definitely going to be paying more. But like these townhomes behind me, these are newer build townhomes, and the prices look attractive. They're in the mid 500s, which if you were any closer to the Beltline, you'd be paying 900K as I mentioned earlier in this video. But the downside is you're kind of in a more transitional area. There's some low-income housing sprinkled in through this neighborhood as well. So you get a little bit more transient neighbors. Also some condos over in this area where the price is a lot better. You get prices in the low to mid 200K price range. So the one great thing about, right over here is when you're really close to highway access, and you're just a couple of blocks away from another green space called Central Park, which I'll swing by there next. So now I'm almost on the southern edge of the Old Fourth Ward area. It kind of transitions from Old Fourth Ward into the Cabbagetown area and then Grant Park. But I'm right here over on Edgewood Avenue. This is an area where there'll be some great nightlife. You get kind of more grungy bars, and there's some restaurants, and then you got Slutty Vegan here, which is a vegan burger shop. Very popular. You'll see a line out the door during weekends and nights and that kind of thing. So I'll show you a quick spin down this street, and this will lead you into the Sweet Auburn district, and the Martin Luther King National Historic Site is just right behind me here a little ways. So a lot of history down this way, and you will feel kind of like you're stepping back into time. Okay, there's one local gem that I have to tell you about. It is La da Fruta. It is like your typical neighborhood corner shop. They have great paninis, smoothies, and these little fruit cups. And today I'm in the mood for a smoothie because it's so hot out. So I'm gonna go grab one. But yeah, if you're in the Old Fourth Ward, you need to come try them out sometime. A La da Fruta. They also do some seasonal soups as well. So try them out. They're also in the airport here in Atlanta. All right, I got my smoothie and I'm feeling way better. It's cooling me down. And I'm just gonna walk down this street because we are entering the historic Old Fourth Ward district, which is where the Martin Luther King Memorial Site is at. And I'm just gonna walk down to where his birthplace home is and end it there. But let's walk down this time in history on this street on Auburn Avenue together. I'm outside of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthplace home. So this is a big tourist attraction, and basically the whole MLK Jr. National Historic Site is just down the block. So definitely check it out sometime if you come into town. Unfortunately, they have it closed right now for some renovations, and there was somebody that was trying to burn it down at one point, so that was a sad situation. I'm glad it didn't burn down, but obviously it has done some damage and now they are repairing it. But there you go. There is the Martin Luther King Jr. birthplace home. But thanks for joining me, you guys. That ends my tour of the Old Fourth Ward area. Honestly, this is such a big area and it changes so drastically from street to street, block to block. It's hard to capture everything in one video, but I hope this was, you know, a small taste of what you can find here in this neighborhood. Certainly a very walkable neighborhood, lots to do and see in this neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed it. But hey, if you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta area and you want further help with your home search, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Would love to hear from you. Whether you're thinking about moving tomorrow or next year, I am here to help you out. So can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for joining me. If you see me out in the wild, make sure you say hello. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.